Okay, we went way off left.
Too much pot tar.
way too much pod tar.
All right, so welcome to another episode of Too Much Pod Tar as we continue our 30 teams, 30 pod series. And this one will be for the Phillies, who had a pretty good offseason. And I think they're definitely in the hunt for the National League East. And so for this episode, I have fellow scorecard writer Matt Bishop on, and also Johnnie Black coming back for another episode. So welcome to the show.
What's up, buddy? Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Back again. Always good to be back.
Yeah. So they signing Zach Wheeler. That was like probably their best move this offseason. That's really strengthens their rotation. So start with their offseason moves, and then Didi Gregorius is another one. It gives them another solid bat. I think last year he was coming off Tommy John surgery, so kind of a slow start there for him last year when he came back. So I think now coming back healthy, I think he'll be another solid bat in the lineup.
Who's that, Didi?
Yeah, Didi. Yeah,
I love Didi. I think then that park is perfect for Didi because he's such a dead pull hitter, and that is just a bandbox for home runs, dude. So he's in the right spot. He's definitely going to outproduce this year, man. He's going to be incredible, I think. I like the Wheeler signing. I mean, I'm not sold on Wheeler. I think he's a little iffy. He's a little inconsistent. I mean, he's definitely got, I think he throws 95 plus, 5-year, $118 million. I mean, that's a pretty hefty contract. And, we saw what happened recently in Philly with Arrieta, and he's not producing. So, I don't know. This is kind of it. I like Wheeler, but this is kind of the rotation. They still need some work. They need some pieces, man, because they just don't have it. I think Velasquez, he's going to end up going to the bullpen. He's just a mental case. He can't get out of his head. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, I love the Didi signing. I do love Wheeler, so I think they're looking pretty good, but it's going to be a tough division,
Yeah.
And I think you got Washington and you got the Mets on a rebound. I think the Mets could definitely make some noise this year too,
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely a 4-team race for that division. I'm actually looking at the projections for their standings, and I'm kind of curious as to why they have the Phillies winning 79 games only when they won 81 last year. Why the hell they're having them be worse when they were I think they're going to be a lot better this year. Like Bryce Harper is going to have an MVP type season, I think, this year.
I think so too, man. I think so too. He's he got that big contract, and I think he loves Philly, and he's getting comfortable. So I think something's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Hoskins
the Harper
out too.
Bounce back. Yeah, the Harper bounce back definitely. And you got to remember, Real Muto's on a contract year.
Yeah, true.
He's going to want to get paid. He lost his arbitration case. The dude's going to want to get paid, and he's going to want to show what he can do. And Wheeler, as a Twins fan, I was wanting Wheeler so bad. And the fact that his wife's family is down in South Jersey, closer to Philly and stuff like that, he took the money down there and everything. Wheeler, he knows the division. He's solid. He's proven he's come back from Tommy John. He's 3 years removed now. I love Wheeler. I think that was a great signing. He's also 3 years younger than when they signed Arrieta. Mm-hmm. And Arrieta was always, I don't want to say a one-hit wonder, but he always had the awkward delivery. He's always had the mechanics that weren't quite right. And, he had those couple years in Chicago that were great, but that was a bad signing. Nola's an ace in the making.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think they'll be solid. I agree with you. Velasquez should be in the bullpen. The dude can't get out of his own way when he pitches. And I think one or two innings is fine for him. You can't expect it. Because even when he starts, he only throws 4 innings. Because he nitpicks and I don't know. It's horrible with him. So I think he's a great middle guy. He's the right-handed. He could be a right-handed Josh Hader if they let him just air it out for 2 innings in the 5th and 6th.
He could, man.
Harper's definitely with the bounce back. I mean, I think Hoskins is going to have a bounce back this year too.
Yeah,
I
I'm
really
hoping, man. He's got good play
Because
discipline. He's got power.
Hoskins got the plate discipline.
Yeah, he does.
You know, he's got the plate. He always had. You know, it's just a matter of hitting the pitching. You know, he came up for those 50 games a couple of years ago, and he hit 18 home runs. He was dominant. He won me a couple of fantasy leagues that year. I mean,
Damn,
you
dude.
know, but you know, he's one of those post hype guys. Like he came up, he had a great 50 games, and then he kind of dissipated a little bit. People forgot about him. But I think he's going to come up again this year. I think he's a smart enough player where he's going to make the adjustments. He's made an adjustment to his swing, dropped his hands and stuff like that. I don't know if you saw that, like the video. Someone posted that on Twitter a couple days ago.
Yeah, I did see that.
Dropped his hands, a little less motion and stuff like that. So I think he'll be more direct to the ball. So I think his pitch recognition as it is, which is very good, and his plate discipline, having him be more direct just to the ball, he's got natural power. I think it's going to help him a lot. I honestly think the Phillies win the division. They're my pick to win the division. 79 wins is ridiculous. I see them at 90, 92, 93.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, and I think another thing too, man, they had a new coach last year. Like, while the players probably liked having the ball club, there was that JT Romeo clip where he rolls his eyes when that pitcher's coming in. That's hysterical. That was probably like, you know, him in a nutshell. So, I mean, Girardi's going to be a good player coach. They're going to love this guy. I think he's going to slot right in and get these guys moving.
Yeah, definitely. And then another positive is McCutchen coming back too, healthy. It's going to be good for the lineup. Probably leading off.
Yeah, and he's got speed. He can swipe bags. He can hit home runs. He's a former MVP. I mean, he's got a great hit tool. He's got an entire skill set. He's just, everyone writes him off because they think he's older, and he's really not that old.
Yeah, what is he now? Like 30, 32 or something? 33?
Yeah, dude, he's a great clubhouse guy too for that. You know, especially to rev that team up and get them going, build momentum. He's a great guy exactly for that spot.
Oh yeah, well, McCutchen and Harper in the outfield, they'll be getting those guys ready to play, man, every day.
Oh yeah, yep.
I love McCutchen.
Yeah.
That one season he was on the Yankees, that was pretty. Oh, the half season, I loved it.
He's a beast, man. He's a good player. He was just wasted older. I think Kingery could fit in nicely too. You know, I think so Didi's playing what? Didi's playing second. Kingery's going to play short. Is that how it is?
No, Kingery's playing third.
Yeah, that's what
they got rid of Cal Franco.
Wait, hold on, let me pull it up. Let me pull up roster.
Franco.
Right, dude. Wait, hold on a sec.
Where did Franco go? Franco went somewhere.
I went to KC. Kansas City.
Yeah.
Royal signed him. Yeah, actually, I'm sorry. He's playing third. Oh, Segura's at second. Okay, got it.
Right.
Yep.
And even Segura, they got Segura. Nobody's even talking about him.
Nice. All right.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid lineup, man. I don't like they're minor leaguers though. I'm not too sure about these guys. Or this Hazley kid, I'm not too sure about him. I know he was a high prospect, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think their minor league system is that great because they have the other third baseman, Alec Baum, right?
Yeah. Yep. He's another one.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm not sure what they have in their minor league system. I'm not too keen on it. Like,
yeah,
but they're going to win this year. You know, and I think, like we said before, like getting Wheeler, having Arrieta this year, and Nola, and I really think they can make a move. They can move at the deadline, get another starter. You know, so you don't know what happens in July. when that stuff comes around. So I still see the Phillies taking that division because I think the Braves. I don't believe in the Braves division. Their rotation and the Mets. I think the Mets will take a wild card. I think the Braves might also. I think the Nationals are going to have the hangover.
Yeah. I don't know how they made it there in the first place. They didn't even seem that good. It's so weird to me. I know they were good, but
especially losing Rendon.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think they can fall off in that division. And honestly, you look at the other divisions and the NL Central. If you don't win the division, I don't think you're making the playoffs. Yeah, and then the NL West, it's the Dodgers and everybody else. Maybe Arizona has a fight. But other than that, the Rockies are garbage. The Giants are garbage. The Padres, I still think they were a year away. You look at the NL Central, the Cubs got worse. The Cardinals got worse. The Reds stepped up, but are they good enough?
The Reds line nasty, dude. That's so good, bro.
I think the two wild cards come out of the NL East. And I think it's Phillies win the division, and I think it's going to be the Braves and the Mets.
Yeah.
Out of the East. That's my call. I don't know. As it stands now.
That's a good division. That's true, man. Never even thought of it like that.
I mean, because honestly, you look at the NL East. If Harper has like an MVP type season and Real Muto, does what he does, Nola, Wheeler, Arrieta in a contract year also. Like, I mean, if these guys step up, Nationals have have the top three. They have Max and Corbin and Strasburg. And they still have Soto and Turner and those guys. I get it. They're still a good team. But what has that gotten them?
Yeah,
it won them a World Series last year. But what has it gotten them the previous 5 years when they were favorites to win? You know what I mean? Like I think they got their shot last year and they made the most of it. And I think that was it.
Dude, I think you made a good point. You made a good point a little while ago how good the pitching is in the NL East. It's like incredible, man. You got Syndergaard, DeGrom, you got Corbin, Scherzer. It's so good.
Yeah.
That's hard to compete with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. But
it's probably the best division.
The rest of the NL is the same. It's kind of on the same plane, with the exception of the Dodgers, because the Dodgers is dominant. But with the exception of the Dodgers, every team in the NL, the other 9 teams that will compete for the divisional wild card, they're all about the same.
Yeah.
They all have upside. If this happens. I mean, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell in the NL. In the AL, it's kind of easy.
Yeah.
Kind of easy to say. There's like 7 teams fighting for 5 spots. I mean, is it really not, it's really not, rocket science.
I think the one thing I was looking at though is I think the bullpen, man. Hector Neris had a pretty decent season last year. 28 saves. I think he went what do you have? 2.93 ERA, 28 saves. He had like an 11K per 9. He did 38 saves. He did a pretty good year last year. So he could become like a lockdown closer because they got pretty unlucky with David Robertson in that signing. That he just got injured and he's pretty much just dead weight now,
Well, when's Robertson coming back? Is he coming back?
I think it's bad. Hold on a second. Let me find it. I think it's like a bad injury. I should have had this like.
I like that too.
Yeah.
This is closer.
I loved Robertson when he was on the Yankees, man. He gets such nasty stuff, bro. Like everything he threw was like nasty.
Yeah, dude. That dude just throws like wiffle balls.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's got such good breaking stuff. Oh, look at this. He's expected to be out until at least September 1st.
Oh man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know he's that long. All right.
Well, I think his contract is up. Actually, I think he's got one more year in his. They could just. Oh, he's got a club option in 2021 for $12 million. So they're clearly not going to pick that up.
Yeah, I doubt it. Yeah.
You guys see that he commented on the Astros shit? Like
Who did David Robertson?
yeah, like a couple days ago he was saying about it.
What did he say?
Let me see. I need to look it up. I don't remember the exact quote.
I saw something. Jeter was going on a rant tonight on Twitter. I was like, "That's awesome, dude!" Like Jeter, I feel like is that guy that needs to tell people how it is, and like he should do something in the media where it's just like, get over yourself.
Robertson said it's a disgrace what they've done, and they're going to have to live with it, and everyone knows.
Damn.
He said that Wednesday.
Yeah.
This is so depressing, dude. It's so bad for baseball. It's like, what do these guys say? What are they supposed to say? There's nothing they can say.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say, like, oh, yeah, we did it, because you're literally a cheater and you just admitted to being a cheater. Or, you can't say, I condone it, I wasn't a part of it, because then you're pointing a finger at your teammate. So it's like, what do? There's nothing they can say.
Yeah.
No.
It's like with Justin Verlander, like, when he commented, he was like, oh, I was traded in the middle of the season. It was already going on. And then that was it. Like, the guy that comments on everything, he only said that.
Dude, and I'm sorry, but like these guys, regardless if they get handed out a punishment, like this ruined their life and career. So like for the rest of their life, they're going to be known as this person on this team. And no matter what penalty you give them now, it's not going to matter because their reputation is completely tarnished for the rest of their life. So it's like people were talking about, handing down the punishments. It's so difficult to do that at this point because there's so many other players involved in different clubs. But, it's like no punishment is really already a punishment for these guys. So it's tough. It's a tough spot anyway. That's my right.
The punishment is their legacy. Whether they care about it or not and just want to make money, that's fine with them. I mean, if that's okay with them, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the punishment in the history of baseball, for I think true baseball fans is, it's the same as like Bonds and Clemens and guys like who haven't been inducted into the Hall of Fame. We're talking about the greatest players to ever play the game.
True.
In the 150 years that this game has been going on, we're talking about Bonds as probably the greatest overall player to ever play baseball.
I agree with that 100%, bro.
You have the hit leader, Pete Rose. If Roger Clemens, probably top 10 pitcher of all time. None of these guys are in the Hall of Fame. And that's because of what they chose. And what happens when Beltran, he's been retired for 2 years, 3 more years, he's going to be up for the Hall of Fame. And he's borderline anyway. I would have put him in the Hall of Fame, but knowing he's been part of this.
Man, I didn't even think of that.
Even 15 years down the line with Altuve or Bregman or Correa, any of these guys, Correa goes on to be a shortstop in 500 home runs in his career.
Yep.
What is this going to when he becomes a Hall of Fame eligible player? What is this going to say? What's going to be the narrative to everybody for their whole careers, forever? This is the thing. They might not care about it, and that's fine. If they don't care about it and they just want the money, a lot of guys did steroids back in the 80s and 90s, and they didn't care about their legacy or whether they got caught. Jose Canseco sure as hell didn't care about legacy.
Dude, he's wild on Twitter, man.
Really cared. And that's part of the reason that like guys like Clemens and Bonds aren't in the Hall of Fame is because he was so smug about it. And it's fine. That's their choice, and that's their personality, and that's all well and good. All I'm saying is from a historical aspect, this is going to be looked at. 2017 Houston Astro World Series Championship, 100 years from now, is going to be looked at as tainted.
Yeah.
Because that's what baseball is. People don't forget. People don't forget in baseball. They don't.
That's so true, man. Baseball fans are definitely the most loyal fan base I've ever seen, man. Of any sport, anywhere.
I forget who it was on Twitter actually posted something. It was really interesting. He said, 101 years later, people still remember the Black Sox.
Yeah.
They still remember the steroids. They still remember all this stuff. Like everything. He mentioned a couple other things, and I'm trying to remember what it was. But everyone remembers this stuff. 101 years later, we still remember. It's still 8 Men Out, that movie, and it's still the Black Sox scandal and what happened when they cheated baseball and everything. People still remember that. It's going to be the same 100 years from now. It's going to still be the same. But we'll remember the 2017 Astros as cheating.
And you know how it's going to probably get so. I mean, I agree. I think that they should be eliminated from like postseason contention or something like that this season at least. But I think that these guys are going to be booed. It's going to be so exhausting for them. Literally every single game they play, they're going to be just booed, and it's just how can you play under those conditions? So they're all going to suffer, I think, too.
Yeah, that's why I said they're not going to make the playoffs.
And it's crazy because that's such a good baseball team. They built it right. They built it up. And yeah, regardless, now we don't know if it's all, now we'll never know. We'll never know.
Well, sure, you never know. I mean, you don't know where their stats would have been if they didn't cheat. Same as you don't know if, would Bonds would he have broken Hank Aaron's record if he didn't use steroids? I mean, no one knows that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, no one knows any of it. So you can't put a number on it. That's for sure. It's just, having such an organizational cheating. I understand, like, personal. Bonds did whatever he did. Clemens did whatever and the rest of them. Sosa, Palmeiro, blah, 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 blah. You can run down the list. If you want to say, A-Rod, Andy Pettitte, if you want to throw in David Ortiz and all these guys that were on the Mitchell Report, and that's fine. If you want to label them as cheaters, that's fine. That was an individual choice. This is something different. And while I don't agree with taking away the championship, because I don't believe that it'll do any good. And I don't believe that. I believe that it'll go down a slippery slope with this. I do believe that this is worse because it's organizational cheating. And everyone was complicit with it. Whether you participated in it or not, you were complicit and didn't say anything. And that's a problem with me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Honestly, I'm so done talking about this. Like, I'm sick of. I mean, it's never gonna go away, but I want to just get into like the season, and not hear about it.
Well, that's because you're a Yankee. That's because you're a Yankee fan and you feel like you're owed something. I'm playing, dude.
Once the season starts, that's it. I refuse to talk about it.
I agree. That's it. That's
done.
The borderline right there. I agree with that.
That's great.
Yeah, once the season starts, no longer will we talk about this cheating.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the season. That's it.
So, Johnny, real quick, I'm looking at Barry Bonds' career numbers right now, and 4 years he won MVP 4 years in a row and missed it. He got second place a fifth year in a row with 177 walks, 198, 148, 232 walks in a season. That's insane.
Oh, ridiculous.
It's insane. And his strikeouts, dude, he's striking out 47, 58, 41 times. That's incredible to me.
Oh, dude, the dude had talent. I mean, just look. All you have to do. I compared his first 10 years to Mike Trout.
Oh, no doubt.
And first 10 years, Barry Bonds was Mike Trout before Mike Trout. Yeah. Barry Bonds had, I believe, off the top of my head, his first 10 years from like 86 to 95, compared to Mike Trout's first 10 years, like 2000 or his first 8 years or whatever it was. I don't know. I remember doing it. And Bonds had like a 68.4 WAR. I think Trout has like a 73.9.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's so close. Like, Bonds was a beast before he started using steroids. I mean, he was a Hall of Famer. He could have retired after 10 years and been a Hall of Famer. Bonds. I always said this. Bonds was the greatest player ever overall.
Yeah, I agree.
Ted Williams was the best hitter ever.
Yo, I'm looking at his numbers right here. Yo, his OPS, 14 years in a row, Barry Bonds had over 1,000 OPS, dude. Like, that's insane. And look, he had a 1422 OPS, man.
Take a look at Ted Williams, and he missed his years of like 25 to 27 to World War II.
Damn.
Ted Williams was ridiculous. He won a Triple Crown twice.
He was the one that hit. He hit 400, right? Didn't he hit 400? He was like the only one.
Yeah. He was the last guy. He hit 406 in 1941.
It's crazy.
And he had 2,100 walks and 700 strikeouts. He walked touches. He struck out.
God, look at this dude. Holy crap. 20 and 30 and 40 walks. That's it, a season.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And he missed 3 years of his prime.
Wow,
and then he went to fight. And he missed another year and a half in 52, 53. He missed like 4.5 years of baseball because he went to fight in a war. And he was like a war hero.
Wow.
It was just like...
Yeah, he had 15 years of 15 seasons of over 1,000 OPS. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't care what era you play in. That's just dominant right there.
Yeah. Alex, who do you like for the NL East, buddy?
NL East. I think I'm actually like the Phillies too, honestly. 90.
Nice.
I'm going with 91 wins. And then I'm going the same thing with Johnny, actually.
It was they were 81 or 81 last year, right?
Yeah. That same projection
I think the Braves could be nice. They got some bats, dude. Acuna, Albies. They got Freeman.
Yeah, I think Braves are definitely going to be up there too.
Keep cutting in and out.
Hello. Oh.
Yeah, and they got pitching. They got pitching for days, dude. They got a farm system filled with young, good arms, man.
Yeah.
That's what scares me about the Braves. Is their pitching.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
But
I'm just not confident in them.
Yeah, some of them are kind of like, if you're talking like Soroka-like, there's a lot of them like that. And I know Soroka did well last year, but he just like, weak contact. He doesn't really have swing and miss stuff. I mean, he might develop, but they're all kind of like that, though. That's what I think.
Yeah, Soroka. I mean, I like Fried. This year, I got Fried's probably the best pitcher, but with Soroka, Fultonavich, and Newcomb got switched to the bullpen last year. I mean, you bring up Ian Anderson and Kyle Wright. Like, what are they doing with their starting staff?
I know, it's weird. And forever, they've been known as the team with the deep pitching staff in the minors, That's
the thing. I just don't see their pitching staff carrying them at all. I mean, I like that lineup, no doubt. I mean, Freeman is a beast. Acuna, Albies, all those guys. But they lost Donaldson, who was a beast for them last year. I like Dansby Swanson and all, but, I mean, other than that, man, I don't know. I just don't know with the Braves. I just don't know. There's a lot of question marks there. I think there's question marks about everybody, but for me,
I mean, they got Ozuna too. So.
They did pick up Ozuna, who
I like
think
Ozuna.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a good year. He always hits the ball hard. I think he had an off year.
Did you guys see Acuna said he's gonna go 50-50? That'd be insane, dude.
That's definitely if he does that.
People are drafting one, man. over
Yeah, he's
Trout.
going number one everywhere. I'm not in that camp at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I'm
in
not in
fantasy,
that camp. No,
in
I'm not
fantasy,
having. I'm not having it in fantasy. Like Mike Trout, dude. I don't know. Mike Trout is just good everywhere, all over the place. Like I just take that
yeah,
consistency.
he still does as much anymore.
I don't think it matters. He's that good though.
Yeah,
There's no doubt he's going to be good.
I don't know. That's tough, man. That's tough. Because
Johnny, who'd you take in your who'd you take in TGFBI?
what was that?
Who'd you take in TGFBI so far?
Oh, we're still heading in the end of the second round. I have DeGrom and Harper.
Oh, nice, dude. Nice. DeGrom's a beast. Can you imagine DeGrom on with a good offense? He'd be the best pitcher in baseball. Not even close. Because he does everything with this subpar Mets offense. And he doesn't get wins.
And it's funny because I posted I posted it out on Twitter that I got DeGrom with the 8th pick, and then I managed to get Harper. I was like, I like my start. And of course, the guy Brian Johnson, who had the 9th pick, he's like, yeah, you sniped me with DeGrom. I was like, well, Cole went 7. I wanted to take DeGrom. I wanted to get an ace. And I was glad I did because 12 through 14 was Max, Verlander, and Bueller.
I like Bueller.
So if I didn't get an ace at number 8, I wasn't getting, I would have had to settle for like Strasburg or something. Glad I got it.
I haven't grabbed a pitcher yet. I went Trey Turner at 12th overall, and then I went. Oh my God, who's my second one? Oh, Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, we can't go wrong with that. I mean, Arenado's money.
I'm not big,
like I said, 2040, 2035. I mean, that's like put it in the bank as long as he's healthy.
Yeah. I'm not really big into taking like a speed, because Trey Turner, I know, he can put up 20-25, but like a speed guy in the first round, it's hard because like if he only steals 20 bases, like it's a waste of a pick. You know what I mean? That's why I worry about it. But it like nothing else fell to me at 12. I was like, I got to take this. I mean, that was a pretty good steal at that point,
Yeah.
And Arenado in any round is good.
Yeah, Arenado's money. Yeah, the one guy in my league, I think he was the 14th pick, like almost at the turn. He got Arenado and Bueller.
I like that.
I'm jealous right now.
We like you.
Yeah, that's a sweet 1-2 right there. Well, I'm fine with DeGrom and Harper, man.
Yeah, I think Harper's gonna have a huge year too, man.
Another year in Philly, let the pressure dissipate a little bit off his big contract and blah 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 and like all that stuff. And seeing Washington win the World Series after they get rid of Harper, I think he's gonna have a little motivation this year. And these are the things that you can't quantify. These are the things you can't quantify. I said the same thing last year about Carlos Santana.
You did.
His metrics were the same and blah blah blah, and he had a bad year in Philly and stuff. I was like, you know what? He's going back home to Cleveland, and you can't quantify that stuff. Guy was drafted by Cleveland. He's had a home there, and he went to Philly for 1 year, and he's going back. Hey man, he's comfortable.
He beat last
year. I mean, sometimes you got to look beyond the numbers.
Yeah. I remember it, dude. I remember we were going to write that article. You remember we were going to write that breakout article? I never got around to posting it, but you said Kettle Marte.
Yeah.
You said Santana, and then you said Blake Snell was going to be a bust, dude. Three of them were incredible, and I have it all written down. It's so funny. I was going to screenshot that the other day.
Yeah, those are my 3 good ones. Yeah, amongst the other 20 bad ones, I'm sure. Sometimes sometimes I hit on that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you just got to look at different things. It can't. It's not always numbers. You got to realize these people are human beings.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not always numbers. I mean, yes, and you know what? If there was a metric, and we all try to find it, if there was a metric that you can say that this guy is going to do this, and it's going to be linear, and it's going to be like the progression and everything. If there was that, we'd all be making money in DFS. We'd all be great. But there is no formula for it.
Yeah.
Because you have those days where you're the starting pitcher that day and you're not feeling that great. You had an argument with your wife that morning. You don't know these things.
Yeah.
But when you see something like this, like something like I said about Santana last year, and I actually said it on a pod with Mikey Kara in a fantasy gospel pod.
Yeah.
I talked about Santana. And when you see something like that, you're like, that's something that can move the needle. It's just one example, but I mean, and you don't get these kind of things all the time where you're going to see like, oh, this guy's going home or he's going this place or whatever. But you might say, you know what? You might see that with Wheeler this year.
I think that was cool, the move, like going from New York to Philly. I think that's so cool. Like his whole family doesn't get uprooted. Like he's comfortable. Like that's such a good thing for him and for the team,
Yep.
And that's why I think I always said that. Like I was like, why don't the Mets and the Yankees trade with each other more? Because think about it, the families don't have to uproot their lives. They can literally just go from one place to another, and it's perfect for the team. It's perfect for the family. Everybody's happy. I know they're whatever. That's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, no. Well, it's definitely a valid point.
It's always the Mets being like acting like they're rivals when they're really not. Like the Mets always like are the ones that pull out of a deal or something, or don't even want to. It's like, oh, well, we're not done a deal with the Yankees. No way. It's like, who cares?
I know, it's like ridiculous. Like the Mets act like they're contenders.
Yeah, they have no effect on each other at all, except if they meet in the World Series, which is not going to happen for a while.
Oh, it happened 20 years ago. You never know.
I remember last year.
Coming through the bat at Piazza. I'll never forget that. That would have been a good MMA fight. Piazza Clemens.
Oh my god!
Get those two guys in the ring. There's a couple of big boys right there.
Might see some MMA fights for the Astros.
Hey, real quick, let me ask you guys a question. I think I saw something on Twitter. Is Yankee Twitter going nuts because Garrett Cole walked a batter, or is that not what I saw?
No, it's all sarcasm. It's not real. It's just.
I know. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I actually tweeted something too. I was like, Garrett Cole walked a batter. Did we sign this guy for $324 million?
Oh yeah, fire him.
Unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. Come on. Because like some people actually tweet that shit and they're serious.
People get crazy, man.
Because I see some that are like saying like they're like some people are upset that the Yankees lost like 2 spring training games. I'm like,
well, it's important. Spring training is very important.
No, spring training champs.
Yeah, means nothing.
People get crazy, man. That stuff with like these players' kids and how people are like giving them death threats on Instagram and stuff. That's horrible, bro.
Oh yeah.
You gotta leave that out. Like I know everyone's mad, but it's like leave that stuff out. People are just so negative.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't take it that far.
If you take your fandom to that level, then you really should. You should be eliminated from the earth. Like this is ridiculous.
Sure.
I don't understand. Like, how can you have death threats? Like it's spring training, first of all. Second of all, how do you? I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Like, how do you send death threats to someone over a sport?
I know it's horrible. And be anonymous about it too. These people are ridiculous, man.
Remember back when during the college football season, when Penn State played Ohio State, like when they lost to Penn State lost to Ohio State, people were sending death threats to Sean Clifford. I was like, come on, dude, like really, like
That's
I don't understand people.
Hey, Johnny, you think Aaron Nola gets his groove back this year?
Who's that?
Aaron Nola.
Yeah. Aaron Nola.
How do you think
Dude,
he does
he's gonna
this
be
year?
an ace. Him and Wheeler. Dude, I'm telling you. Yeah. Wheeler's comfortable now. His wife is happy.
Yeah.
Trust me, man. That's this is gonna be a big thing for him. Comfortable signing the contract, comfortable going there. It's gonna be a big thing. I think Wheeler's gonna be dominant. I think Harper, Wheeler, NL Cy Young, Harper, NL MVP.
Wow.
Jesus.
He's gonna be wheeling and dealing.
Hey, man.
Zach Wheeler, Cy Young.
Top three. Well, he's top three. I mean, you never know who's gonna have like a crazy year or something, but of course they drafted DeGrom, so I'm hoping DeGrom Cy Young. But
do you guys remember how we all said Trevor Bauer was going to be Cy Young last year, and we were we were so wrong.
Oh my God, yeah.
Remember, like that was the hype pick for Cy Young, man. Trevor Bauer, dude. I was right there.
I think I was like the only one that didn't pick him. I think I remember who I picked though. Definitely somebody didn't win. Who was it?
It's so hard to peg that stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
I remember I picked Nola for the NL Cy Young.
There you go. Nola struggled a little bit last year. I mean, hopefully get it back. He's still a stud though, man. 200 plus innings last 2 seasons. I mean, he's still pretty good, man.
Yeah. Nola will get it back.
Yeah.
Bauer's
weird. He's a head case too. He'll tinker until he just ruins his entire game.
He is weird. Ball over the fence.
Yeah, that was weird. Did he get fined or disciplined? He got fined for that, right?
I don't remember. I think he did.
I think he did because that's kind of disrespectful, bro. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. He just seemed like he did that for no reason. It's obviously frustrated, but
he just turned around and just whipped it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I actually love Bauer though.
Yeah, I read an article on him that one where he's a drive line, and I literally laughed out loud like 5 or 6 times in that article. I couldn't put it down. It was so funny.
So guess what the run
What happened?
I said, guess what the over-under for the Phillies win total was?
What? Tell me.
It's 85.5. I'll go over.
I'll definitely go over on that. They got a good team, bro. They got a stacked lineup, man. They're going to be all right.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough competing, though, with the World Series champs and bounce-back Mets. And everyone's pretty good in that division, so we'll see.
I'm still not sold on the Mets though. They always get hyped up and then they flop. Like seems like every time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe this year will be different.
Nah, they're the Mets. They'll never change.
In the Mets. Yeah. Especially with the whole situation with Beltran and all that.
Has he commented? Has he said anything? I know.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, he isn't. He's kept quiet, right?
Or anything.
Astros are just blaming people. Like when one doesn't work, they just blame the next guy. So we'll see after this.
Yeah. Scapegoat.
Yeah, it's kind of they got that whole Alex Cora thing, man. They kind of did him wrong and they did him dirty, and that's not right what they did because I mean, it's clearly not all his fault, and he got fired over it, Like, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah. They even said they said in the report it was player driven. So it's like, what the hell? All these guys get fired, and then nothing happens to the players when it was player driven. Like,
Yeah, but I also think that he's saying that because he's trying to protect the owners from getting pissed off, because he works for the owners, he doesn't work for the players. He wants to keep his job, so he's going to blame it on players and all that. You know what I mean? That's just the thing that he does to protect himself against the owners who pay his salary.
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
I don't know.
We'll see how it shakes out.
I think Jim Crane should have got fired too.
Oh, he's the owner though. He's got to lose. He should lose the team. All the owners should just vote together and be like, dude, you got to go. You're done.
This is freaking. It's so fucking pathetic. Like,
bro, he's so arrogant about it too. Like you have to address it. You have to come up with some sort of plan, and they've done nothing.
Yeah.
They've just been smug about it, man. But again, what do you say? Like, what's there to say? I mean, at this point, they should be sympathetic and just come out and say something. I mean, because
Yeah, like he was saying shit like, "Oh, this didn't impact the game." Like, what?
Yeah, that's insane. Like, how does somebody say that? It obviously did impact the game. And somebody's going to come up with some way to calculate this in a year or two. And it's going to be funny because it's clearly going to be in their favor.
Yeah. And then it was like 30 seconds later, somebody was like, "Why did you say that?" And then he's like, "I didn't say that." I was like, what the fuck? You just said it.
Yeah, he's so dumb, that guy. He's so smug, and he has such a punchable face.
Yeah. Ugh. It frustrates the hell out of me. Like, the whole situation is so stupid.
Yeah. The Yankees are going to be good this year, huh?
Yeah.
Garrett Cole's a beast.
Oh.
Glaber's going to hit 40.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
Stan's going to hit like 65 this year with like a $140 RBI.
Wow. Judge is gonna hit 70.
I hope he gets going, man. Like, when Judge is good, it's fun for baseball.
Yeah.
He really is, dude. He's the best ambassador there is for baseball. Like, no doubt, man. He's a likable guy. He just brings people in.
Yeah, as long as he can stay healthy. Fine.
Yeah, that's the problem, man. What was Stanton's injury last year? What was it?
I think it was more of just one thing. I think he just had a bunch of different injuries.
Who's Stanton?
Yeah. Like, he can't. I think he tried coming back and then something else happened.
Well, he's going to be good to go. He didn't have like labrum surgery or anything like that.
No.
That's good.
Yeah, he's gonna have a huge season this year.
Yeah, I think, dude. Who is it? Fangraphs projects he's going to lead the league in home runs. Let me find it. Hold on a second. I think Steamer. Was it Steamer? Hold on a second.
Oh, it was his knee last year.
All right. Yeah, so Steamer has Giancarlo Stanton leading the league in home runs with 47. That's a projection.
Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah.
47, 111 RBI, 97 runs. 268 average.
I'll take
It's crazy, too, because they're usually conservative. Their stats.
Yeah, I'm taking Stanton where I can get him this year, man.
If everybody still stays healthy, they can have like 4 or 5 guys that hit like 30 home runs.
Oh, what's going on with Severino's forearm? Did they find out yet?
They didn't say anything yet. He was supposed to go back to New York and get tested, but he did nothing yet. I don't know.
Oh, we haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah, they haven't come out with it yet.
Oh man, that would be terrible. Is it his forearm or his elbow?
I believe it was his forearm.
Forearm tightness.
Yeah.
So, we'll say.
Oh god, that would be sad, man, because he was so dominant.
Yeah.
He was so good. He was so fun to watch.
And then, if he comes up with Tommy John surgery or something like that, then he's going to be labeled.
Yep. So
Burn, you know.
Wheeler was a TG guy, right? Or TJ guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did he
Yeah.
had it? What? Like 2015, I think.
15. Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
so-
came back, and he had a great year in 2014.
Yeah.
Or was it 15? And then he had the Tommy John surgery the following year. And then he came back from it. I mean, these guys come back from it. It's not an issue.
Yeah.
You know, it just sucks that like if Severino has to go through it this year, you know, then it pretty much ruins this year and most of next year.
I don't know. I'm not really that worried, really. Because, like, we got Garrett Cole, so that's all that matters.
What do you mean? You should be worried, dude. He's your ace. He's your original ace. Garrett Cole is, while he's fantastic, he's only one man. And with pitching, you need so many pieces at so many times. Like, he'll be all right. I think he'll be all right. He's a young kid.
When Paxton's going to be back, like,
I feel so bad for Paxton. Just can't get a fair shake, man. He's so good.
Yeah.
Sad,
Yeah.
man. Same with Clevenger, dude. Same with Clevenger. Like, I read something the other day that's saying that these injuries are ruining Clevenger's like what could have been a spectacular career, and I think they're right. You know, because we haven't seen him. We saw him go 200 innings, I think, one time. But in those like 125 innings that he throws, he's amazing.
This is what makes pitchers like Nolan Ryan amazing.
Yeah.
And I see people. It's funny because I see people now like crap on Nolan Ryan. Well, Nolan Ryan wasn't that good because he struck out, a batter an inning and blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, but back when he struck out batters, you got to remember something. There was a stat. There was back in 1973 when he struck out 383 batters for the record. There were like 3 guys in the league that struck out 100 times. 3 batters. Nowadays, everyone strikes out. So how does that help, the pitchers that are now? When you're talking about 300 strikeouts, it's amazing. They're pitching less innings, they're throwing 300 strikeouts and everything like that. Well, everyone strikes out now. It's not a big deal. Back then, it wasn't. It was a big deal. No one struck out back then.
Let's see, who led the league in strikeouts last year? Let's see. Garrett Cole, 326. Verlander, 300.
How many hitters struck out 100 times last year?
Yo, who do you think is the third? Who do you think had the third and the fourth amount of strikeouts in the league last year? After Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander. Yep.
My guess would be Strasburg and Ray.
Number 3 and 4?
Yeah.
Shane Bieber at 259 and Jacob deGrom at 255.
I was actually going to say that.
Bieber, surprising though.
Yeah. That's going to fall off. That's going to fall off.
Yeah.
He wasn't a strikeout guy coming up. He was just a command guy. He had great command, never walked anybody.
I'm not crazy about Bieber's stuff.
He's got a good slider, but he's got a trash fastball.
Yeah, I don't like he got a lot of looking strikes. Not a lot of swinging strikes, which I don't like.
Let me see. I'm just looking this up 1 second. His fastball's not that bad, actually. Damn. 23% swing strike rate on his slider, 24% on his curveball. Damn. That's insane.
I don't know if that's gonna last.
Dude, he's got a 15 p-val on his four-seamer. Holy crap. I was way wrong.
I don't know. Something about Bieber. I don't like the profile.
I agree with you. He's kind of like, he was a command guy. Those command guys don't become strikeout guys all of a sudden.
No. And that's where the strikeouts scare me.
Yeah, finding out that you're the third most in the league, that's a little bit like concerning.
Those strikeouts become hard hit pitches real quickly.
Yeah.
I just don't know about Bieber.
And we don't really know because this was his only year in the. Well, actually, he threw 114. Never mind. Yeah, he went from a 4.55 ERA in 18 to 3.28 in 19. That's a pretty decent jump.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust it.
Yeah, his K per nine went up like strikeouts, 1.5 strikeouts almost. That's a little bit of a. And they have nobody in that division though. Batters whiffing.
Yeah, except the Twins.
No,
The bombs everywhere.
Yeah, you guys stocked up for the last 2 years, man. You guys have been.
Oh yeah.
And on top of that, you have one of the filthiest farm systems we've seen in a long time, man.
And we added Josh Donaldson.
Jesus,
I love
man.
it.
What do you got? Royce Lewis. You got Kielar. You got Travis Larnach, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, dude, we're stacked.
Yeah.
Stacked. I line up, dude, for years to come.
No.
We locked up Polanco and we locked up Kepler for 5 years. Oh, it's stacked.
Kepler's coming too. I think this or the next year. I mean, he's getting better and better progressively every year.
Yeah, I like Kepler. Started hitting lefties last year, which was an encouraging sign. He started to hit lefties.
He was late to baseball too. He didn't start playing until he was like 18 or something, right?
Yeah, we drafted him in 16 out of Germany. And he didn't start playing baseball. Yeah, he was an international signing out of Germany. Like, where are you finding these people?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just, it's taken a while for him to progress, but I mean, he was a Gold Glove candidate last year in right field. The dude finally started hitting lefties. So, yeah, he's 26 years old. Give him a little chance, you know what I mean? Like, these guys, I love the guys that are like 25, 26, 27 that have like 1,500 plate appearances, 2,000 plate appearances under their belt. Same thing with pitchers. When they have good stuff, I want to look at the batter's face. And it's the same thing. I want to see 2,000 batters face, 2,500. That's when I know progression could come. Because when you're watching this and you're seeing, all right, this guy did this the last 3 years. Didn't have a lot of games played, didn't have a lot of plate appearances, whatever. It increased. Sometimes it is linear. And sometimes you have to look at it the same way with pitching. Batters faced. I've faced 1,500 batters, 2,000 batters. Now I'm getting a feel of what I need to do with these batters. That's where that progression really, that's where the breakout comes. Is in that, at that point. That's why someone like a Ketel Marte last year, or that's where you see this breakout come out. And that's why this year, I'd like to look at like some guys that have 1,500 to 2,000 plate appearances, 1,500 to 2,000 batters faced as a pitcher. Then they start getting a feel of what's going on. That's where I look at guys. As far as a breakout goes.
Yeah, I remember you had the Kettle Marte peg last year, dude.
Yeah, he was in that realm. You know, and not everyone's going to be that way. Not everyone's going to be that like linear type.
Well, did you call? I think you called Polanco too. Oh yeah, I think you called Polanco too. Polanco had a great year, man.
Polanco had a great year. Yeah, but he's the same way too. You know, it's just I'm telling you, if you look at guys that have that kind of metric, I'd be interested to see because I haven't done a study on it or anything. But if you look at guys that have 1250 to 1750 plate appearances, and you look at guys as far as pitchers go that have the same amount of batters faced, look at their stats and see where they're at. If they have progressed, whereas when they played like 30 games, 50 games, and then like 120 games last year, and all of a sudden last year they've pushed them to that point. I'm saying that's the point where you understand the game. And I think that's where you look at those guys have within that realm, within that parameter. That's where you look at the guys who are going to break out. If they have the right metrics, if they have, if they're progressing forward, that's where you have to look at them.
Dude, I'm just looking at Pedro Martinez's career numbers right now. 293 ERA, 1.05 WHIP, and a 10K. What is it? 10K per nine. It's pretty good. Goddamn good, man.
Pedro is ridiculous, dude. 2000, I think 99, 2000. I think 99 was his best year, if I'm not mistaken.
Hang on a second.
Ever for a pitcher.
Yeah, 313 strikeouts in 213 innings. Look at the innings these guys used to pitch. My God.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and his ERA plus was what? 205?
Yeah, plus. Which one? Let me see. 243. What's ERA plus exactly? What is that?
It's ERA adjusted to league and field. It's the same thing as OPS plus.
Oh, I gotcha.
Just adjusted to.
Yeah, I like Baseball Reference, but sometimes like some of the stats, I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I like Fangraphs with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fangraphs is better for that. Oh, Pedro Martinez, like 99 through 2000. I mean, he was ridiculous. Steroid era, AL East. The dude was dominant.
He won Cy Young 2 straight years, almost 3 in a row, but he came in second in 98. So 3 out of 4 years he won Cy Young. That's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah,
I think 99 was his best year, if I'm not mistaken. 99 has the one.
Yeah, 207 ERA, 313 strikeouts, and 213 innings. Yeah, that was it, man. Damn. Barely walked anybody, bro. Like, look at this. Hold on a second. 1.6 walks per 9. That is like nothing. Jesus.
He was ridiculous.
Oh my.
And that's facing, and that's what I'm talking about. That's facing these guys, steroid guys. That's why we're talking about, like, we talk about Pedro Martinez, Greg Maddux, Randy Johnson. Look at Greg Maddox's stats. Holy shit. Ridiculous. 1.62 ERA. Like, I mean, the dude was just insane. Dude
Damn,
was
he
just
had a couple duds towards the end of his career. Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Greg Maddox was
I
insane.
thought I pitched a better game today. It's just that I made a couple. I made some pretty good pitches, and they battled their butt off. And Sierra is a good example, hitting good pitches. Matsui did it earlier in the game too. Abel hit pretty good pitches. I mean, what can I say? Just tip my hat and call the Yankees my daddies.
Yankees are his daddy, though.
Greg Maddox had a great quote about Tony Gwynn because he never struck him out.
Mm.
He was just like, whenever you throw, you can pitch. Basically, it came down to you can pitch however you want and change speeds, and you can do whatever you want, unless you're facing fucking Tony Gwynn.
All right, boys, I'm gonna get going.
All right. Yeah. So, what's your prediction for the Phillies?
I don't know. What did you say yours was?
I said 91 wins.
I'll go 90.
90.
I'll go 90 on that. That's my team. That shows how confident I am.
Yeah, it's a little upsetting. You're not as confident in your team.
Come on.
Nope. We had the Twins, bro. We didn't have the offseason like the Twins had.
Oh, we didn't have a great offseason. I mean, yeah. Well, I guess we had a pretty good offseason. You guys got Wheeler.
Last 2 years.
I would have been fine taking Wheeler.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys got enough.
See how
Man.
Wheeler
You guys
goes.
got a good team.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Anytime.
All right, brother.
All right.
We'll talk soon.
Later.
Bye.
So, yeah, I guess that'll do it for another episode of Too Much Pod Tar. We got 6 more of these 30 teams, 30 pods to go, and check all the episodes out on all the podcast platforms. And yeah, we'll be back with another episode soon. And you can never have too much Pod Tar.